Hey man, Tone had to shoot that.
Reporting live from the 574. We got King Stuckey in the building. How you doing today, my brother?
Man, I'm good. How you doing today?
Man, I'm straight. So first question, why did you step away from music?
It was a number of things that made me step away from music. Kind of was just exhausted with music. You know, the business of music kind of stole some of my fire for the actual art. You know, when I was younger, I just started out just for doing it for the love of music, for the art of the music. But then when I got to a certain point in my music career, I started talking to executives. I started to meet with labels, and you know, it just could let down or not. Those situations not ever transpiring kind of stole my fire, my energy towards music. It got away from the original reason why I did it. Now just because I love to do it. Also, you know, I became a father. My kids was getting bigger, and they just needed me. You know, I had to be there for them, and you know, help them push their dreams and their goals and their aspirations. So I got into coaching, and you know, me and my sons, we spent a lot of time in the gym. My daughter, she was in the gym with us too, and you know, and then I just feel like at some point I feel like my insecurity was telling me that I was maybe a little bit too old to be rapping. You know, they say hip hop is a young man's game, and you know, I kind of bought into that. But I started watching dudes older than me start to break into industry, and I was like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have left the game. You know, maybe I should have stayed put and just kept grinding. But you know, just a number of things that just got into me, got into my life, got into my head, and just made me kind of fall back from music.
Okay, so that kind of plays into the next question, which was, what made you come back to your craft and become full circle with the music again?
Well, what made me kind of come back, honestly, is that I just love to do music, you know. I feel like music is a sixth sense for me. Like, everything's a song. Like, my daily life, like the way I move, the way I walk, the way I talk, the people I talk to, the things I hear, the stuff I watch, they spark these songs in my head. And like, over time, I had all these songs built up, and I got songs in my phone. And then I started to pay attention to how with the internet, there's no more gatekeepers, and you don't really need labels. You don't need nobody's approval. That it set up a situation for older artists to actually, you know, go up as far as music goes. And I started seeing cats like my age that was really dominating the game. All the music that came out, that stuck, that was, you know, notable worthy, was from dudes that was my age. And I was just like, yeah, maybe it is some room for me. Then, you know, working at the Dream Center, I created a program called the Made Media Program. And I wrote it up, and they facilitated and outfitted a complete recording studio in the building for me to run the program. But it also gives me time to sit down and do music. And it's crazy because I hadn't done music in so long, I was questioning my ability to actually do music again. But the first song I did was fire. I was like, damn, this is crazy. So, you know, I started to get that itch again. I started to feel it, and then, you know, people were saying, you know, a lot of my peers over the years that I went into music, actually, why did I start doing music? And they've always encouraged me, saying, man, you should still be doing music. And I was like, man, I don't rap no more. They'd be like, man, you a rapper? I'm like, I'm not a rapper. And then, you know, I just started rolling out songs. Before you know it, I got, you know, projects ready. I got songs that's super powerful. People walk in these rooms and hear these songs playing, and they say, man, you're amazing with music. So I just feel like I owe, you know, my gift to the people, you know. So I'm back doing music. I'm back working on music. I performed at Fusion Fest last summer, and the rush of being on that stage, man, it hit me again. So I'm back, man. I'm back doing music, but, you know, it was the elevation from a boy to a man, from Stuckey boy to King Stuckey.
Okay. Yeah, it kind of played into like everything I was thinking. Like, man, we got all of our older hip hop guys coming back into the game, like Crucial Conflict and Do or Die. Still got Bomb doing their thing, you know, and they bringing out new music. So I'm happy you back, Mr. Stuckey.
and I'm happy to be back.
And now you got the crown on now, man. Yeah. I like that you went from Stuckey Boy to King. What made you do that?
Well, you know, when I was Stuckey Boy, I was a young man. I did a lot of younger stuff. I lived a certain way, a certain lifestyle, and it fit me at the time. It was a brand that was consistent with what I had going on. And you know, now that I'm older, I'm not a boy no more. You know, and the word says when you're a child, you're back as a child. For when you become a man, you put away your childish ways. And for me, it's time to put away my childish ways and represent myself with something higher than a boy. And you know, I believe that us as a people were originally kings and queens. So I wanted to take my rightful title as a king, and I call myself King Stuckey.
You know. Okay, so what could we be expecting? What you got in the oven, man?
Well, right now I'm working on a couple projects actually at the time. The biggest thing I'm working on right now is the Made Music program. You know, I feel like one of the reasons why I came back was to pass my gift down to the next generation. I believe that the next big producer, the next big videographer, the next big rap artist, the next big singer is from my community. And I want to be the person to tap into the well and bring that to life. And then I'm also working on some music for myself. I'm working on a project called The Streets Is Fake, which is going to be a series of projects. It's going to be kind of like a mixtape, but it's going to talk about the other side of streets. You know, we always glorified it and talked about it like it was this big thing, but people never talk about it from the real side. And I want to just expose some of the things that really actually happen in the streets, that the things that you're going to be exposed to if you get involved in this, that's not on the glamorous side. And then I got an album that I'm working on. It's called Art Piece. Art Piece is special to me because it's my first time coming out in a while, and every track is very, very delicate to me. The first song that I'm going to release, which is going to be like a warm-up single, but it's a very powerful song. It's called Sometimes the Kings Cry, which will be releasing on all streaming platforms February 27, 2026. So if you're not doing nothing at noon on that day, I would like for you to just go press play. And then, you know, the second single will be called King Stuckey, which is just me letting y'all know who I am, what I've been through, and just giving you a real visual look at who King Stuckey is, what it represents, and why I call myself King Stuckey.
I'm King Stuckey, fresh off the block, I'm King Stuckey. You hear the voice, it's King Stuckey. Crown on my top, I'm King Stuckey.